Berlin Wall, originally just a concrete enclosure topped with barbed wire, appeared for the first time in 1961. For 28 years, it remained present, growing taller, stronger, and more oppressive with every passing year. East Germans were prevented from fleeing to the west by this wall. Family, friends, and paramours were separated with no means of communication. The wall's destruction was as instantaneous as its creation, and its fall was celebrated around the world. In the dead of night, August 12th of 1961, crews of workers were sent out to tear up the streets and the phone lines that led to West Berlin. Berliners were shocked to wake up and find the ugly concrete and barbed wire barrier that had appeared overnight. Whichever side of the border one had went to sleep on during that night of August 12th had unknowingly chosen their own fate. It began with a divided Germany. As agreed at the Potsdam Conference after World War II, the Allied powers split conquered Germany into 4 zones, each occupied by either the United States, Great Britain, France, or the Soviet Union. It wasn't long before the relationship between the Soviet Union and the other 3 Allied powers turned sour. The cooperative ambience of the occupation quickly became aggressive, and although the initial goal was to create a revived, reunited Germany, the new competitive nature of the situation had transformed the country into West versus East, and democracy versus communism.
It wasn't long before the difference in living conditions on either side became distinctly evident. On the west, with the assistance and support of occupying powers, individuals were able to live well, buy gadgets and appliances, and travel where they wished. In contrast, the people of East Germany were being denied basic individual rights, and the weak economy dragged. The Soviet Union had viewed their territory as a spoil of war and embezzled factory equipment, valuables, and anything else of consequence, shipping all the stolen goods back to the Soviet Union. By the 1980s, many East Germans were entirely fed up. They wanted out. Hundreds of thousands of East Germans flocked to the western border, but not everyone made it across. By 1961, almost 2.5 million refugees had managed to escape to the west. East Germany had lost not only a considerable amount of its population, but also an essential portion of its labor force.
There were only a handful of openings in the Berlin Wall. The openings, called checkpoints, were specifically for the use of officials and those with special permission to cross the border. The fall of the Berlin Wall happened nearly as suddenly as its rise. On the evening of November 9, 1989, an announcement was made by an East German government official stating that Germans were officially free to travel to and from all borders. The reaction to this shocking announcement was monumental, and it reverberated around the world.
From ABC News, I'm Peter Jennings in New York. Just a short while ago, astonishing news from East Germany.
The gates have been opened. told they can travel freely.
West Berliners partying literally on top of the Berlin Wall.
Change before our eyes.
Most happy day for me in my life.
That is the conflict between East and West, all of which was symbolized by that wall.
It's like crazy to be here this evening.
This party has been going on non-stop. German reunification.
Oh, I like to see the wall from the other side.
The Berlin Wall doesn't mean anything anymore.
I can go everywhere I want. I think it's a human right and I'm very happy.
Is this the dawning of a new age?
General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The Berlin Wall was history. East and West Germany reunified into a single German state, October 3rd, 1990.
I was the first to discover his terrible secret. Ich bin ein Berliner. He's a Nazi! Get him!